Morning, everybody. It is just now getting daylight enough I can film a little bit, and it has rained most of the day yesterday and all throughout the night, and the coyotes did not howl very good this morning. I finally found this group about 15 minutes before daylight, and I just sat here in the truck. You can see the truck parked right back there. I sat in the truck until it started breaking daylight, and now I'm going to try to walk in here. This is only the second time I've ever been in this spot. It's public ground. I found it last year. It had a group of coyotes in here in pretty much the exact same spot. And I come in here with my buddy Tim Spike. A lot of you know him as Tim Spike Davis. And he killed his first coyote of the trip right in here where we're going. And while I was in here with him, we figured out that there was a little creek bottom in here, a pretty spot. I located these coyotes about, I'm gonna say they were close to 400 yards in here. And they're in a pine plantation thicket. This one right here. And there's this old logging road kind of wraps around it, and they're about close to 400 yards, maybe not quite, 400 yards deep, but another 200 yards in there. There's a creek bottom. A lot better setup. So if I can keep this wind decent, my plan is to walk past the coyotes, get in that creek bottom, and that should put me about 200 yards, maybe a little farther from them, and try to call them into that pretty spot, just like me and Tim did last year. But I tell you what else, my buddy Jason would not want to hunt these coyotes. This is old swampy beaver water, and everything in here is about 2 inches deep. And this stuff is just wrapped up with cottonmouths. And you can't hardly see them. The grass is too thick. But it's just solid water, holes, and swampy stuff growed up in grass, and cottonmouths, and mosquitoes, and briars and bullshit. But the coyotes are in here too, so I'm gonna shut this camera down, get quiet. Remember what I told y'all about the cottonmouths in here? I no sooner cut the camera off, and look what's laying right here in front of me. I remember from last year, them suckers was thick in here. It looks like they in here again. It's even wetter this year. Have to watch that step. See if we can get in here without getting bit. Alright, I got in here and got set up in this creek bottom where Spike and I killed the coyote at last year. I'm about 75 yards off the thicket. And hopefully them coyotes are still in that thicket. It's been about an hour, maybe a little better since I heard them. But I'm gonna try to pull them out into this creek bottom and shoot them out here in this open area right here. Start with Juice, lonely female. can't happen much quicker than that. It actually moved into this creek bottom. That goat's howled down the edge, and then them two howled right behind me. Barely got by with that because that wind is drifting this way. I mean, them suckers howled right on top of the call, and I killed them right on top of the call. Juice, lonely female. I mean, that's all it took. And then after I shot, I kicked on greeting whines and pulled that second coyote right back up here. I tell you what, that didn't work out exactly like I planned it to, but it ended up working out, and I'll take it. Got a double out of the deal. It is family bust up. It's September. Family bust up time frame. Good thing about that is a lot of times you kill multiple coyotes because they are scattered out. You have multiple coyotes in the same area. Bad thing is a lot of times they move a little more, and so where you pin them at, they may be 2, 3 or more 100 yards away from where you expect them to be. But by the time I got in here, they had split. I had 2 coyotes howled down the thicket edge and down the creek, probably 200 yards in there. And then 2 more howled right over the top of and behind the X24. Luckily I had a crosswind. That crosswind was coming right back over the call, blowing back the way I walked in, and that allowed this to work out like it did. Because those coyotes were not where I expected. They were actually behind me. Anyway, kicked on Juice Lonely female. 2 of these 2 closest to me come running up here, howled right behind the call. 1, 2. 2 yards away, 2 steps away. And then Juice Lonely female came back on because I didn't have time to mute it. And that second coyote howled out here behind me. I could actually see it out there and could have shot it. Y'all may see it on the GoPro. But I flipped on greeting whines, MFK greeting whines, pulled that coyote back around. Intentions of pulling around in front of the main camera, but pulled it right back around, right over the top of the X24, blowed it down with a load of Apex, and it's laying 4 or 5 steps from the other coyote. So right on top of the X24 and another maybe 10 steps or so to where I was sitting at. Anyway, to get the sounds, MFK Game Calls is where you need to go. The Apex shells, 2s, 2x4s, all that stuff. Just go to the website, give us a call at the office, and leave me a comment. I love hearing from y'all. Appreciate you subscribing to the channel. Y'all stay tuned.